Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 1996 remake film of 101 Dalmatians. Now, as you know, the 1996 film of 101 Dalmatians was meant to be a adventure comedy film, which of course was meant to be the original OG Disney remake of the 1961 film 101 Dalmatians before Disney went way on to the whole live action remake formula. And the best I can say is it's definitely there to be a remake, but of course it is trying to obviously take some creative liberties, not try and be a shot-for-shot remake, but having some creative ideas. Like, for example, Roger being a sort of American game designer. We kind of see how Carrera's more of this kind of fashion mogul and kind of being this sort of boss of Anita. And I think for the most part, having the Dalmatians not speak actually does add a lot more to the sort of characters. Like, they don't need to have actual actors voicing the sort of Dalmatians, like Pongo, basically, as well as Purdy and so forth. And it does feel believable because it actually shows actual animals showing actual emotion. For example, yeah, Pongo and even Purgy showing actual emotions. We kind of see how they kind of look more concerned. We kind of see there's a lot more sadness, a little more joy, and so forth. And I think for the most part, they do obviously know what they have to do. They actually have to add in some different elements to the story. For example, Cruella being a bit more manipulative and conniving, obviously having a sort of henchman known as Mr. Skinner, who obviously basically dismantles a white tiger to make it fur as a fur cloak for Cruella de Vil, and that actually feels believable. I think the only real casting that I think definitely came down as a little questionable was obviously Glenn Close playing Cruella de Vil. It just feels like her performance feels a little enforced. It feels like she's there to be ranting and raving, and obviously takes away what I think made Cruella de Vil work. Because I think what made Cruella de Vil's original voice actress work was obviously when you had Betty Lou Carson playing Cruella de Vil, she actually sounded believable. She sounded menacing, and it actually felt a bit more believable. And I think what they also get right at with obviously having Anita being a sort of employee of Cruella de Vil is that unlike her animated counterpart, and when obviously Nanny and even Roger knows that Cruella obviously kidnapped the puppies, she actually puts the pieces a bit more successfully. And obviously we we remembering that Cruella de Vil talked about her sort of potential for Cloak obviously shows that even Anita had to agree with Roger and Nanny about their suspicions. Unlike her anime counterpart, she doesn't already see the good in Cruella. She knows Cruella was a little bit menacing and dangerous. The problem with animated Anita was that the good she saw in Cruella was just a reflection of herself. And yeah, there are people who still want to believe that there are good in people despite it being a lost cause. Is is the obviously 1996 film 101 Dalmatians good? Yes, but it definitely feels like it's there to show people we can do live action remakes of films, we can improve, but it's just there to kind of do some things but tweak things around. So it definitely deserves two thumbs in the middles. Kind of alright, kind of okay, but just there to be for literate kids and fans of the 1961 film 101 Dalmatians. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.